Hey everyone, Lakota Denton, trial lawyer here in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm a car accident lawyer, I'm a trial lawyer, personal injury lawyer. I want to talk to you about the difference between a real trial lawyer and a personal injury lawyer and why it's important to you when you're choosing an attorney for your car accident case. First of all, what is a trial lawyer? So a trial lawyer is someone who actually tries cases in front of juries. So it is an attorney who is willing to take a case, pass the settlement offers, say no to insurance company settlement offers, and prepare to try a case in front of a jury and actually try cases, get verdicts from juries. So this is what you really think about when you think about what lawyers do. This is actually going into courtrooms. It is preparing witnesses, it's preparing evidence, it's preparing an opening statement, closing argument, jury selection. It is a full-blown trial where you are showing the evidence to a jury of someone's injuries, in my case usually from a car accident or some kind of personal injury. And so I am presenting evidence to a jury about what happened to my client, and I'm asking the jury to award money to my client for things like medical bills, pain and suffering, permanent injury, lost wages, that kind of thing. So a trial lawyer is someone who is willing to do that and has done that and will continue to do that. Not every personal injury lawyer is a trial lawyer. So a lot of the personal injury lawyers that you see on billboards and you see on television and you hear about getting giant settlements, a lot of those people never walk into a courtroom. They settle cases without going to trial. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And here's why this is important to you. If you are hiring someone to handle your case, if you hire a trial lawyer who has a history of going to court and winning verdicts in front of juries, you are going to get a better offer from the insurance company than if you hire someone who settles all their cases and never goes in front of a jury. I'll tell you why in a second, but it makes perfect sense that you're hiring someone who's willing to take your case all the way. You're going to get a better offer than someone who has never taken a case that far before. So how can you tell if you are hiring a trial lawyer? How can you tell if an attorney is a trial lawyer? The biggest thing is you want to find out if that attorney has jury verdicts, if they've been in front of a jury, and if they've gotten a jury to award money to their client. That's it. And an attorney who has the experience to do that is very, very different from an attorney who's never done that before. So you want to look on their website, and a lot of times attorneys will advertise their victories, and they'll say, oh, I settled a case for this much, or I got a jury award for this much, or a large settlement for $100,000 or whatever. If you look at their website and everything says settlement or award, those are probably outside of court, didn't require this attorney to go to court in front of a jury. But if you see something called a verdict or a judgment, those are things that you have to do in front of a court, in front of a judge or a jury. So, for instance, on my website, you'll see something that says like a $200,000 jury verdict. That's because I went in front of a jury for a week, I presented evidence about my client's injuries, and got the jury to award $200,000. So that's what trial lawyers do. So another way to kind of look at this is if you're hiring a settlement lawyer, is what I'll call them. If you're hiring a settlement lawyer that doesn't go to trial, again, you're going to get lower offers on your case. That's just the way it's going to be. But here's a way to tell. If they're on a bunch of billboards, that is probably a settlement lawyer that is not willing to take your case to trial. If they are mailing you a letter after you've been involved in a car crash, probably a settlement lawyer who's not willing to take your case to a trial. And again, if they're advertising their settlements instead of their verdicts, probably a settlement lawyer. Here's how this works. Larger firms who have 5, 6, 8, 10, sometimes 50 lawyers like myself, they want to handle a volume of cases. They're like the Walmart of law firms. And so they're huge. And so what they want to do is they want to bring in as many cases as they can They want to settle them all as quickly as they can, and that's how they make their money. It's very different from what I do or a trial lawyer does, which is I'm the only lawyer in my firm, so I don't want to take hundreds and hundreds of cases. I want to take less cases, but I only want to take good cases where I can truly help people. And when I take less cases, I have to take some of those to trial because the offer may not be good enough, or there may be a dispute over what happened, and I have to take that in front of a jury and get a verdict. And there's two reasons I do that. First, it's the best for my client. So if they're only offering $50,000 to settle my client's case, I think the case is probably worth 90 or 100, then it would be unfair to my client to settle that case for 50 simply because I don't want to try the case. So that's the first reason is I try cases in front of juries because it's better for my client. The second reason is it's better for all my future clients, because if I show to insurance companies in general, if I show them that I'm willing to go to trial, that will scare them a little bit every time I do it. And so what happens is when I go to trial and I get a jury verdict, that becomes a public record. These insurance companies have a file on all the lawyers that do what I do. All the personal injury lawyers, even the settlement lawyers, they have a little file. And they'll look you up and they'll say, okay, is this lawyer willing to go to trial? Does he have any history of going to trial? Does he have any jury verdicts? Are they good verdicts? Are they tiny verdicts? Or is this a lawyer that takes every settlement offer that comes his way and settles everything? Now, if you're an insurance adjuster, who are you going to offer more money to? The lawyer that is willing to take it all the way and make you spend $20,000 on hiring another lawyer and make you go spend a year and a half going to trial? Are you going to offer that more money to that lawyer? Or are you going to offer more money to the lawyer who will accept your offer? Whatever offer you throw at them, they're going to accept it and they won't try the case. So naturally, the lawyer that's willing to go to trial is going to get a better offer. Okay? So here's a couple reasons why you want to hire a trial lawyer who has experience in front of a jury. First of all, a trial lawyer with experience in front of a jury in the area where your injury was, where your car accident was, that lawyer is going to have a better idea of what your case is worth. So cases are worth all different amounts depending on the venue, depending on where you are. It could be more in one county than it could be in another. Obviously, a case is worth more in New York City than it is in rural North Carolina. A lawyer that has experience in front of juries in that area is going to know what gets a jury going. He's going to know what a jury is going to award for that amount. So that lawyer may say, hey, this is a rural jury. They're not putting a lot of money on, cases without surgery. And so we're willing to settle for a little bit less because we don't think we're going to get as much in front of a jury. Or maybe the opposite. We say this jury, your kind of injury actually does well with our juries here in this county. So a real trial lawyer is going to give you a better analysis of what your case is worth if they've been in front of juries in that area. Second reason that you want to hire a trial lawyer, as I said before, you're going to get a better settlement offer. Insurance companies are simply more scared of lawyers that are willing to do this. I know this for an absolute fact. When I get a good verdict from a jury, my offers go up over the next years and months up until present. So when I get a few $100,000 from a jury and it becomes a public record, these insurance companies, they look me up. When I send them a new case and they offer more money, I even had an adjuster tell me this. She said, you dragged us around for a year and a half in front of a jury before we got to a jury, and you got a good result from the jury, and so I'm going to pay you more than I would have. I mean, she said that to me over the phone. So you're going to get a better offer if you hire a trial lawyer. Finally, and this is a very good reason to hire a real trial lawyer, if your case does have to go to trial, and sometimes they do. Sometimes they just don't offer enough money. Sometimes they dispute whether the car accident or whatever it was, they dispute whether it was maybe your fault. If you have to go to trial, you need a lawyer that has experience going to trial. It's very simple and very obvious. If you're hiring a settlement lawyer, they are not going to be prepared to take your case to trial, and many of them will simply say, I'm not trying your case, even if it's a good case. And they may send it to someone else who tries cases for them, but really, if it's a settlement lawyer, you're going to get a lower offer and they're going to be scared to try your case. A couple reasons why you don't want to hire that settlement lawyer. First of all, there are a lot of settlement lawyer firms. These are the big firms that advertise. A lot of them will put a little one-room office in your town. I know in Asheville, where I practice, there are Greensboro and Charlotte lawyers who put one little office in Asheville without an attorney in it, and then they show up on like Google searches and they put up a billboard and they advertise like they're an Asheville lawyer when they are not. And so people hire them, and that person they're talking to is in Greensboro. The attorney's in Greensboro. They don't know where your crash was. They don't know the road. They don't know the intersection. They don't know the jury that you're going to be in front of. And you're not even going to be able to meet with them in person and look them face to face unless you drive 3 hours to another city. So a lot of these lawyers aren't even from the town that you're looking them up. That's a sign of a big firm, and it's a settlement lawyer. Second reason that you don't want to hire a settlement lawyer. They will probably push you to settle your case. And that is because their business model is lots of cases, settle them all. It costs them too much money to try the case. And they actually have done I've talked to these lawyers. They've done an analysis, and they look at it and they say, hey, if we take a case to a jury, even if we get a verdict, our hourly rate is not worth it because it costs so much time. It takes so much time and money to try a case in front of a jury that they look at it and say, hey, we're only making $30 an hour after the end of the day. So why would we do that? We'd rather just settle it even if it's for cheap. Well, that's not fair to you, the client. And it's also not a good long-term solution because they're going to get lower offers over time if they're not willing to try cases. So they will push you to settle, and you don't want them to do that. And finally, a settlement lawyer doesn't scare an insurance company. An insurance company is not going to bend over backwards and do anything that a settlement lawyer tells them to do. I recently had a case where I actually sued an insurance company and got a good result. And within weeks, the insurance companies I was dealing with on my other cases, they were bending over backwards to do things for me and overnighting checks for my settlements and yes sir and no sir and please and thank you sir, because they're scared of me because I had a track record of suing an insurance company for not doing what they're supposed to do and winning. So you want your trial lawyer to scare the insurance company a little bit. You want them to have experience trying cases. You want them to give a better analysis of what your case is worth. And all of that can happen when you hire the right kind of lawyer. So again, you want to hire a lawyer that has experience trying cases. You want to avoid the big billboard lawyers and the big settlement factories that just want to settle your case and aren't going to get you really what your case deserves and treat you the way you deserve to be treated. If you have any questions, please give my office a call. Again, I'm a car accident lawyer in Asheville, North Carolina, Lakota, Denton. I'm a trial lawyer, have experience trying cases, and have experience winning cases in front of juries.